thought I'd just do a quick video to show you a new product, well, that's new to me, I thought I'd just show you how it works and what it is, etc. So it came not packaged in this bag, it came kind of with its information, which I've kept because I think it's quite useful just until I get the hang of it to know exactly what to do. But it's these little gadgets here. Now, for each different shape or design or size that you require for this little tool, you get a different one of these. So but these are then usable, you know, they're like a punch, you can use them forever. The only thing you then need to rebuy is your little epoxy stickers, button things, or actual little buttons. It also has kind of like metal embellishments that you can put these into, so there's lots and lots of stuff that you can go with them. There's star shapes, flower shapes, and what I haven't done is tell you what it does, and it basically makes like little buttons or little epoxy stickers or little charms, whatever you want to do with it. So I've just started off with this was a starter kit that was on Create & Craft, so it came with this round one, which is, let me just tell you, it's called round 25, and then the button one, and that is just, I think, round 20, but it also has the button attached. And these are by Epiphany, and I went on their website, which I think is based in America, and there was loads of stuff that you could get, particularly this sort of thing, like the buttons, and as I said, the little kind of metal charms and things that you could then put them into. So anyway, let's just show you very briefly how this works. So we'll put the button one to one side for the moment. I'm just going to show you this one. So you've got like a little lip part here, which you I was trying to pull that bit up, but it actually just pops up like so. You then get your design, your pattern, and you place it, there's like a slot just in here, and you just slide it in and get it to the position. Okay, so I had a little change of heart on the pattern. I decided to use this lovely Curio paper pack from Basic Grey, and I've got one of the sheets from there because I thought I'd actually rather use something that I might use again later. So I'm just going to slide that in, and there was a nice flower that I found. There we go. So I'm just going to use that lovely flower there. And then, as I say, we take our little sticker and you just peel it off. It's sticky, so don't try to put not any fingerprints on it. And then pop it in the little hole, making sure you keep your pattern in position. And then press it down so it's nice and stuck. Which it is. I was trying. And then pop your lid down, and then literally just punch, and then tip, and there we have a beautiful little embellishment, and I just think that is absolutely fabulous. I love it. Okay, so that's using just the little epoxy, I think they call them buttons or something. They say epoxy shape on one thing, and then they call them a bubble cap somewhere else. So I'm going to keep that little button with my piece of paper so that I can use that later to make a card. The button tool now. So, and then I've chosen just this nice plain, also from the same stack. Really hardly call that plain. So that it will complement the sticker that I've already made. So we'll be able to use that in a card somehow, so it won't go to waste. And the same again, we'll just lift that up. We're going to take inside this like a little button cap part, one of our buttons from the pack, and then just peeling the adhesive off the back like so, and then placing the button on the little tool with the adhesive sticky side up. Okay, so then we'll just pop that down for one moment, and then we're going to pop our paper in position. Now I have to say I haven't done this one so well yet, so this is this is why I keep looking to the instructions. place the insert into the tool. So then we need to pop that in place like so. The reason you put that on the tool first is obviously because otherwise the holes might not line up, which is where I went wrong the first time I did it. Okay, then pop the lid closed as you did before, and then just punch. And then hopefully, oops, and just tip. I punched it again because it didn't pop out. And there you have a gorgeous handmade button. And I just think that's brilliant. And it goes all the way through. So I think if you went on my Facebook page, you'll see I did a holographic one, but you were able to thread through the... Anyway, I hope you enjoyed having just a quick look at this new little gadget of mine. And I think, personally, I just think it's absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to get some more different kind of embellishments that go with it. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this and that you like the tool. Let me know what you think. I'd be interested to hear your opinions. Okay, I decided to do a little PS to this video, well, because I thought it seemed such a shame not to make use of the buttons and actually show you the project that we're going to do. So I started it, and then I thought, oh, I'll catch you up on where we are. I took a piece of black cardstock that I had that was pre-scored with the lovely scalloped edge. I think that's about 5 by 5, so I've got that. I've taken this lovely cardstock that we had used, and I've cut a strip of that. Now I may want this a little bit narrower yet, but we'll see how we go. I then took a strip from the other colour that we had made, and I punched it using this Anna Griffin ribbon punch, and then I just threaded through this lovely brain went blank. So that's where I'm at the moment, and the plan is to have this kind of like this, but I want I think a little bit more of the black to show, and I'll show you why. Because what I want to do is stamp this lovely kind of florally image on my card, and then using the Versamark, and then emboss using this Print Magic crystal by Debbie Moore. Okay, so I've put my stamp on its mount. I've got my Versamark ink pad, and I want the straight edge to be the top so that it opens like so. So we're going to stamp downwards to make like a curtain of flowers. So this is a very sticky ink pad, which is why you can emboss with it, because it will hold the embossing powder nicely for you. Remembered something very important first that we must do, and that is use our anti-static pad, because what we don't want is any stray fingerprints. Any grease from your fingerprints or your fingers will attract the embossing powder. So when we go to actually put our embossing powder on, we don't want it to attract to the wrong thing. We don't want it only to stick to the part that we want it to stick to. Now don't worry about the dust on that. We'll wipe that all off once we finished embossing. Now if you haven't got an anti-static pad like I've got there, then it's perfectly fine. Just use a dusting of talcum powder. It makes it smell really nice as well. Okay, now I'm just gonna overdo the edge there so that we don't have to worry. Okay, so press it down nice and firm. And then I'm going to use this because I don't want to add any more than I need to. Now I don't know if you can just see. I think you can see better than I can actually there. Okay, just put a little bit there, and then we'll go again. I'm just going to change the angle, just so it has a nice random look. Okay, and then for our last one, I'm just going to ink, actually what the heck, let's just do it the other way up, just to go in that section in there, and just hope that that works. I don't think this piece is going to show that much because that's where we're going to be putting our little section. Okay, so now before we proceed any further, make sure you put your cap on your Versamark, because otherwise you're going to get embossing powder on it. And then just move your stamp out the way if you don't want to clean it immediately, which you probably don't with the Versamark, because you want to get your embossing powder on reasonably quickly so that it doesn't lose the stick. And don't worry about being generous, and I'm sure there's those of you out here who already know all about this. I'm just talking for those who don't particularly know about embossing yet. Because what will happen is, you know, this is absorbing into the sticky ink. It's sticking to that sticky ink, the powder. So then when you've finished, all you need to do is you tip off the excess like so. Give it a bit of a tap, and then, as you can see, it now currently looks like that, but then we're going to heat it up with a heat gun. Now, I'm not going to be able to show you heating up with a heat gun because I don't have a vacant power slot close enough to where my camera is. So then just tip the excess back into the pot, and as you can see, it's now back full again. You've hardly used any. Okay, so I'm just going to go across and heat. Now, just as a tip, two things. One, you can see there's maybe a little bit of stray powder there, so we'll just get rid of that with a tap or a little tiny paintbrush. But also, if you heat from behind, you tend to get a smoother embossing look, because it's just the way the crystals melt. It's kind of more gentle, so it's not having like this blast of heat going to the crystals. They're just going and opening up nice and slowly and just gently melting. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to go over and heat these up and see what it looks like. Okay, so as you can see, that's now gone clear. There is a tiny sparkle in it, but it is quite difficult to spot because it's a very fine design, but it is there. Obviously, if you were doing a more intense pattern, then that very fine crystal glitter in there would show. Cut this down slightly to make a narrow strip on here. Before I attached it to our ribbon piece, I just inked down that one edge in black just to give it a little definition. And then I've just put some double-sided sticky tape on the back, so we'll then stick that down in position just about here. Okay. So then we're just going to take that piece and we're going to pop it from the top. I want it to sit at the top edge. And then you can see there we've got our pattern, our embossed pattern just showing through like so. Okay, then I've got a little sentiment that I picked from my Hunky Dory set, and the colour's just perfect with the cream. It also actually in the same set had the lovely peach colour as well, but I think this one just gives it a little bit of a lift, so I think we're going to pop that just about like so. Lastly, we've got our two little buttons, one as a button and one sort of a domed button, and I just put some baker's twine through. Again, I had it in this lovely kind of two-tone creams and tops which really match nicely. And for this I'm just going to use a nice sticky dot, and I'm probably going to use more than one just to make sure it's really sticky. It seems to be sticking to me more than the... Ooh, they very sticky.